Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 282 days until Christmas 2022. And we've got my friend Star Wars Meg here today. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever it is you are. But Meg, hello.
Hello, Santa. Hello, Santa people, elves, plebs,
The elves.
people.
Yes. We've got. Well, I was just sharing with Meg just before we came on. We're moving on to the laundry room on the renovations today. So they're taking out the washer and dryer.
There's an elephant in the background again.
Yes, again, you can hear him in there using the cutting tool. So fantastic. Hey, just a couple of shout outs at the very top of the show. We've got a fantastic community. We recognize you guys all the time. And today I just want to mention a couple of the partners that have decided to help the show. One of them being Old Republic Collectibles. They're in Oklahoma, here in the United States. We do our monthly giveaways for toys and gift cards, that kind of thing. And working with Old Republic Collectibles, we are donating some funds to a children's hospital over in Philadelphia on behalf of one of our winners this month. And so huge thanks to Old Republic Collectibles, and also to all the cool stuff over there in London, UK. We've got David Tree over with All the Cool Stuff. He is working with an organization helping out children with the situation in Ukraine, and that's on behalf of one of our winners as well. Star Wars Fits wanted to donate his winnings to a children's charity related to all the cool related to Ukraine and all the cool stuff. Dave Tree is putting together a package to send to them. So you guys are just fantastic. Your hearts, your generosity, the way that you support all of us is truly amazing. So thank you all for that. And yes, we have Force Ghost Meg. She died earlier this week. If you weren't here, she died when Samuel L. Jackson and then later we had Bryce Dallas Howard kind of retweet his tweet, or where he wants to revive his role as Mace Windu.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you saw that news and you died right on the spot.
It was too much to take. So I didn't survive, but at least now as a Force Ghost, I can appear randomly to people I knew, and
that's right.
I can say some really wise things from the Star Wars saga.
Oh,
I can tell people that they must go to the Dagobah system, and there they'll find Yoda, the one who instructed
Meg,
me.
I've got some shocking news. So it's something that's going to be very hard to believe. It's unfathomable, really. That there are Star Wars fans who haven't watched Rebels yet.
They're not Star Wars fans, sorry.
It's
they think Clone Wars is a good show, but they're in for something better with Star Wars Rebels.
It's completely unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
And so since you're now Force Ghost, Meg, and all the wisdom that the Force has to offer, we can tell fans they should watch Rebels, right?
They have to watch Rebels if they're going to understand the Ahsoka series, the Mandalorian season 3, even parts of Kenobi. Just stick with Star Wars Rebels, because by the time season 2, episode 20 comes around, you're just going to be hooked from there till the end of season 4.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, and I've told folks this before. Look, I started watching Rebels season 1. Everybody kept telling me I needed to watch it. And I said, okay. I started watching it. I got about 5 episodes in and said, no, I'm done. This is not the show for me. And then I was cajoled and coerced into going back and watching it. And boy, I'm glad I did. I am glad I did. So I'm serious. Just stay through the first season. By the end of the first season, you should be pretty well on board with it. And definitely season 2 picks up huge. It just gets better and better and better. So I promise you. And, would a Force ghost lie?
No.
Well, Obi-Wan did.
I mean, I
But
might say
other than
things,
that,
but they can be interpreted from a certain point of view to be correct. So
that's that's right. That's right. So listen, if you guys want to do yourselves a favor this weekend, if the weather's terrible where you are, and it's supposed to be raining here in Central Ohio, it's going to be bad weather anyway. Just stay inside and watch Rebels. If the weather's nice, well, okay, you get a pass. But then when the weather gets bad, turn on Rebels. You should watch it. It's fantastic.
even if the weather is good, just turn on your 4G or your 5G, go to a park, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy
there
it.
you go. There you go.
All the passers-by don't know what they're missing out on.
You should just tell people randomly as they walk by, hey, watch Rebels. That's
Exactly.
You're out on the jogging path. You're there.
And even that's
walking the
better
dog.
marketing than Lucasfilm.
No kidding. No kidding. That's serious because look, the show is good, and it's we've said it will help inform everything that you watch because Dave Filoni is peppering in bits of Rebels into all these shows. The Bad Batch for sure, and we can see it coming in Andor. I watched your video today. And you got to watch to the end, right? You're supposed to watch to the end. Meg tells you at the beginning, stay through the Kenobi news, and you had some fun Andor stuff at the end. And you said it's.
I did.
You mentioned how it is informed by Rebels, and we've been saying that, and Rebels is coming in August. Now, of course, when I think of Andor, I think of Rogue One, and when I think of Rogue One and Rebels, I think of Chopper. So Chopper, he makes a little. If you haven't watched Rebels, then you don't know who Chopper is, and Chopper's already in some of people's one of their favorite movies. So you should go back and watch Rebels and learn who Chopper is, and then you'll see Chopper in Rogue One, and you might see him in Andor. I'm just saying.
I love the way that you just completely dropped something I told you and masked it around. Maybe. I'm just
guessing.
Just saying, there's a possibility.
It's 100% guess. I'm just saying, like he's in. You mentioned it's highly influenced by Rebels, and I watched Rogue One, and the Rogue One Rebels tie-in is Chopper. So hello.
Absolutely.
I just yes, and Chopper's kill count is no joke, right? Like Chopper is the man. Like he's his kill count. He's got one of the highest kill counts in all of Star Wars.
He does. He was awesome in Star Wars Rebels. He doesn't beep like the other droids. He muffles because it's Dave Filoni.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Oh yeah. I love Chopper. He's fantastic, and every time you rewatch Rebels, it gets better and better. Because
it does.
You kind of pick up on Chopper's sass and him giving people crap. And
Chopper's what?
I was just
Chopper's ass.
Sassy. But the thing is that I was just rewatching one of the other episodes that had Chopper in it, and it was one where he was being controlled by the like Lobot guys, right? They've got the controllers, and the mistake they made is they made Chopper too obedient, right? He was being too cooperative, and they're like, "What's wrong with you? Well, you're not being your typical." Sassy,
Show us that sass. We can't get enough of the sass.
Exactly, right. So, but that was their big mistake, and it was their giveaway. It said they're like, wait, he's not acting right. We need to go check him out.
I need to not look at the chat because some of these comments are hilarious. Did you see what Mark posted? What Baymax
I'm
posted?
afraid to see what Mark posts.
He said Chopper is muffled because under his dome he's wearing a gimp mask with 8-ball he's gagging on.
Mark,
for
aren't you
Santa, that's a
supposed to
typical
be?
Friday night.
No, Mark's supposed to be outside jogging. You know, Mark, pay more attention to where you're jogging. I don't want you to trip. You could get hurt. Pay attention. Oh my goodness. So look, Andor is the release on that's August something, right?
Bespin Bulletin said they've heard it's coming out in August. They do say they've got a few scoops coming up, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for those. But August makes a lot of sense. They also kind of tinkered around with the idea that the Bad Batch Season 2 could drop at the same time.
Yeah. You know, I keep wondering if they're going to do animated series like they did with last year with what was that?
Visions.
Yeah, Visions. I wonder if they'll just drop the whole season.
Ooh.
I mean,
not too sure about that because I think the Bad Batch is quite a big deal.
I do too. I agree, and I'm super excited for it, and it ties into some of our weekly the week news roundup here that the Kiner brothers gave. We're doing a charity stream with the folks for Convor Call, and they told them that they were scoring for the Bad Batch, and the scoop that they shared during that fundraiser was that Omega is going to be aged up. Some period of time has passed, and she has grown, and she has a little bit different appearance. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
She does.
I'm very excited for that.
I just want to say hi to Star Force One in the comments. He's got an awesome channel. We collaborated on a Hera Syndulla video, and we're set to do another collaboration soon.
You certainly did. I remember he filled in for you when you were on holiday.
Exactly.
As you like to say over there, right?
Yes.
I was giving Martin Keeler a hard time. Every time you guys take vacation, you think it's a holiday. Everybody should observe it. No,
oh, that's right. Because you think of holiday like a religious festivity type thing,
or just parades and fireworks and stuff like that. Oh, you guys take a holiday, you expect a parade or what? I don't know. No.
Yes. But to your question about Omega, she is apparently going to have a different hairstyle, and she's going to look different. She's going to actually have a completely revamped animated form, and that could also mean we see her get some armor in this season. There were some people talking about how she could get Crosshair's armor or Boba Fett's white armor or something like that. Exactly.
That's right.
The concept art, Ralph McQuarrie.
That's right. The Ralph McQuarrie concept art for the prototype, the Proto Trooper. So this, I would love to see this because we did see this helmet in Sid's office, right? So
we did.
Would absolutely love to see her get more of that armor from Sid, and I've been kind of doubling down on her learning her Mandalorian history, maybe figuring out who Boba Fett is. We know that her Bad Batch brothers already know. Talking is hard today, Meg. I don't know why, but
I know the feeling sometimes.
They already know that she's full brother to or sister to Boba Fett, right? Boba Fett's her brother, so they know that. And Dominic, I'm not watching. Look, I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they're going to survive. I put them in my bracket to win today. just because look, I am a Buckeye. I'm a graduate of the Ohio State University. So is my oldest daughter. So I've got them to win one, but we'll see. We'll see. No, sorry, I got distracted. But
I think that Boba and Omega are probably going to meet in this season.
I'm super anxious for that, and I know we've got some friends in the community in the chat who think that Omega is going to be dead by the time we get to the
No way.
original trilogy.
There's no way they're killing off Omega. She's the next Ahsoka. She'll be around for a long time to come.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I think
I think it's more people who don't like her who want her dead.
Here's the issue, and it'll tie into another discussion point that we've already brought up, and it's explaining where these characters were during the original trilogy. If Fennec Shan's alive, where was she? If our friend talking is so hard. Mace Windu is alive. If Mace Windu's alive, then where was he? And if Omega is alive, where is she? So there's these questions that need answered, and people.
But here's a bigger counterpoint to that. We know that they're not going to kill off Grogu. He's too much of like a cash cow. Everyone loves Grogu. Where was he during the sequels or the original trilogy? I really think it's down to this fact that it's a big universe, it's a big galaxy, and not every character needed to be in those trilogies to exist. Like Ahsoka wasn't in the original trilogy. Right.
Will Morgan still thinks that Omega is Sleeping Beauty. That he's got a channel called MEG-a, and when he puts out content, it's fantastic. Will and I have been talking about setting his studio up. He's working on doing some reworking of his studio as well. But his theory has been that the Seven Dwarves kind of aligned to the Bad Batch and characters from the first season of Bad Batch, and that Omega will be frozen in carbonite, and so she's frozen. She's sleeping.
I don't want to disrespect Will Morgan, but I think that theory is horse shit.
Yeah. Well, I like it, and it's fun, right? But
it is fun.
I don't think it holds any. I don't think it holds any water, right? So, yeah. Well, and here's our friend who thinks that I saw Beskar Green Bear, right? Green Bear thinks she's going to be dead, but look, I think she's going to be a long game for Lucasfilm. I think she's going to absolutely show up in live action. The question is when.
She's probably Mandalorian.
You think season 3? Oh, maybe. That would go great. That would.
I feel like the Mandalorian route makes it easier to include her in the show.
That would be wonderful, and it would fit, right? You see a female Mandalorian wearing white armor.
Maybe.
That would be dope, because I know that they love me to say, that kind of slang. Anthony's waiting for me to talk about Mace Windu getting yeeted out the window and then surviving that, because we know he did.
You said the line. That's what we wanted. We just wanted you to say yeeted. But in all seriousness, I really think genuinely that Omega is a curveball. Not literally. I mean, I literally think she is a character that they threw in there. And I honestly do not have any kind of theory that is solid enough to think that's what's going to happen to her. I think Mandalorian is a likely option, but I really don't know what the end game with her is. They've kind of suggested different things about her enhancements and the fact that she's, what's the word? She's unaltered but enhanced. So she's Boba's counterpart, if you will, sister.
Sure.
I don't know which direction they're going to go.
I don't either.
Maybe she's dead.
Well, Carlos brings up an interesting point, but she could be hostage. A lot of people talked about Snoke perhaps being a clone or having some Grogu blood. He could have some Omega blood. Don't know.
I liked that idea before the Book of Boba Fett came out. I think it was Eckhart Slatter who said something along the lines of, they tried to go after Omega, they failed. I'm talking about the Empire, because, you know, in Rogue One they talk about that mission called Mark Omega. And so maybe they went after Boba Fett, and maybe that does tie into Palpatine's plan eventually.
Daryl the derelict. Omega and Boba have a dyad. Now that's Daryl. I know Daryl hates the sequels. He absolutely despises the dyad thing. So this is 100% a joke, and I think it's hilarious.
I don't think I've met many people who like the dyad idea.
No, I don't necessarily like it either, and I like the sequels, but you know, don't want to derail us too far. No, I think that right after season 2 of Bad Batch and seeing Omega grow, perhaps have her armor, get her Mandalorian armor, learn of her Mandalorian roots, might go to the battle for Mandalore and show up there. And this is a funny typo. Yours and Mags.
Mags. Someone in the chat called me MEG-a Meggy-poo. Don't know.
Hold on. We both got dropped. Now we're back. Okay. So anyway, somebody in the chat said what?
Someone in the chat called me Megapoo or Meggy-poo. Like a term of endearment.
Like yeah. Gotcha.
I think it's quite
so
funny.
Anthony's question. Honestly, by the time the whole Bad Batch series finishes, Omega is probably a spy for the rebellion. I don't know. I mean,
I would actually be inclined to think that makes more sense than we realize. All I will say is if Omega comes into live action, it's going to be in whatever show Hera Syndulla appears in first. And I know that Hera Syndulla is appearing in at least 2 upcoming series.
Ooh, 2. Now one that I would suspect is perhaps Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
And if not Ahsoka, she was rumored to be in the one that's been on hiatus or maybe getting rewritten.
Rangers.
All of that. Yeah, Rangers was kind of getting retooled, and she was going to focus in that. So I'm assuming Rangers is not one of the 2 that you are supposing, but rather Ahsoka would be one.
Indeed.
To guess. And then the other, we'd have to go.
Well,
with
you kind of gave it up, didn't you, earlier when you mentioned Chopper? So,
well, Chopper, yeah. I mean, I just went with Chopper because Rogue One, and then you said, "Oh, I think so."
I don't think we're going to get Omega in Andor, just because of when the Andor series was filmed and written, and that was a long, long time before we even had Omega in existence.
So Jared caught me. You know, this is the first time I've actually read your last name, Jared. I see Dyer, and I just looked at it and thought it said Dryer. So it's Jared Dyer. Sorry about that.
Well, Santa, there was this one time you looked at the chat. I can't remember who it was. It may have been Seth. But you were like, oh, yeah, you know, Seth is here and he's from Norway. And you kind of just moved on with the conversation. But I was looking at the chat and Seth was like, I'm actually from England. And I thought that was really hilarious.
Well, we had somebody come into the chat. I thought it must have been somebody else. I got their names crossed. So, well,
Santa will assign everyone a nationality. Just go with it.
So Barry brings up another point. It was in the leaks this week from Kenobi, and you covered it again today, but we saw it covered. I think it came out yesterday from Bespin Bulletin, and of course, of we've had a lot of leaks coming from Making Star Wars in that same space.
It keeps leaking.
Between yes,
or
between
squirting, as he says.
Or squirting, as he likes to say. But they've been giving us a lot of fantastic leaks on Kenobi, and one of them has to do with this that came out yesterday. That oh, wait a minute, I lost it. Benny Safdie, right? He's playing Nari. And you did a great job of covering that whole sort of story arc with Nari, right?
Yes. It sounds like he's going to have quite an interesting story.
But perhaps a little bit short.
A little bit short. Yeah. Spoiler alert, he's not going to live very long. He's actually going to be a big pawn in the game of why Obi-Wan is like, I need to get my shit together and actually do something. And that involves him taking up the challenge that Bail Organa sets to him, which is, look, Leia is in danger. If you leave the planet, if you leave Tatooine, you're actually protecting Luke because the Inquisitors are already, sniffing around. Right. So I think Nari's death is actually a big moment for Kenobi.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, it is. And as you mentioned, and I believe that at the beginning of the series, we're supposed to see 2 Jedi or younglings or Padawans or Jedi in Order 66 who get captured. And the speculation is that one of those is Nari and the other is Reva. That's speculation. If that's the case, then they were together in the Jedi Temple at one point. Then Reva becomes the third sister, an Inquisitor, and then Nari goes into hiding and all of this. He gets somehow associated with the rebels, all of that. And Reva comes to Tatooine because she senses Nari, and then that kind of puts the whole thing into play. Like, okay, now we've got Inquisitors on Tatooine.
I suspect that Reva, being one of those Padawans at the beginning during the Order 66 flashbacks, is kind of suggesting maybe some sort of importance for a character. Maybe she's one of the Inquisitors who eventually is like, you know what? Is this the cause I signed up for? And I think maybe there's a redemption arc eventually. Who knows?
And there's been some speculation on that as well. I've seen some people who think that the Kenobi show is actually going to be the Reva show. It's going to be about her character development and not Kenobi's. He's going to be subjugated to a minor character part in his own show. And I saw Anthony ask the question, do we think that all these leaks are to help prepare people for the show being bad? I think that's a bunch of malarkey. I think it's misled.
I don't think it's a bait and switch, as people have been saying. I think Reva's going to be important, but it's all about Kenobi, the whole show, from what we've been hearing. I also saw Anthony's comments. He brought up something quite important. I think he said something along the lines of, with all of these leaks and reports, are we worried that the whole show will be spoiled? What do you think, Santa?
No, he was saying, do you think it was to keep it? That's what I was just saying.
Oh, that's what you're referencing.
Because they don't think the show is as good as it is.
No, I don't think so. I think, as you said, it's malarkey.
I think it's crazy. And do we know who Camille is playing? And then there's, of course, the joke. Where's Jason? Is Jason in the chat?
I haven't seen him. I've been keeping an eye on who's in the chat, but
I haven't seen him either. But this comment is in here just to poke fun just to poke the bear. Right? This is just to get Jason worked up because he has debunked that. No, Kumail is not playing a droid. And Jason's addressed it on at least 3 live streams. Not a droid, not a droid, not a droid. So every time we see Jason, we say, "Hey, Jason, I've heard Kumail's playing a droid," and it just fires him up again. Just...
And the thing with the droid is a lot of people saw that shot of the back of the leg
right.
of the droid, and they're like, "Look, it's Captain Rex." No, it's not.
Right.
It's not Captain Rex. You can clearly see the markings of the droid match that of the lower half of the leg.
And it's not going to stop the content creators from making video after video of saying Rex has been spotted in Kenobi. He's in the trailer and you missed it.
But then it's setting up fans for disappointment.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I'd love to be wrong. But
well, and the other things that kind of got me a little disappointed is that we're not going to see Palpatine in Kenobi, and I was really hoping to see that. And the other was that Jason had seen Frank Oz near the set, and the same place where he saw Ian McGregor. So he was like, "Ooh, we might have Yoda showing up."
mm-hmm.
Force Ghost or otherwise, but now he has told us that's not happening.
Well, interestingly enough, and I don't mean to counter Jason, I think Yoda's in this. I really do. Genuinely.
That would be fantastic. And Trucker Mark, like the rest of us, are dying to see Meg's beautiful smiling face, but she's not ready to reveal that just yet.
I died. I'm a Force Ghost. You must go to the Dagobah system, and there you will find a box of Meg's pictures from when I was alive. But don't look at all of them.
There's things we didn't
have OnlyFans back then. You had to physically take each picture.
You went straight there. I was like, don't say it. Don't say only. And you had to do it. You just.
Oh, and speaking of Captain Rex, someone asked if we're going to see him in live action. I think it's a no-brainer for the Ahsoka show. I can't see how you can have Ahsoka without Captain Rex. And what's really weird is that we now know from these leaks that there's no Cody, but Cody is someone that Tamara Morrison explicitly name-dropped as someone he'd love to reprise the role of.
I saw another question come up, and before I lose it, I wanted to go back up. I think Dawn asked a question, and it's gone by like twice now, and I want to go see if I can catch it. Catch it. There it is. Do you think Nari will be public display where we see Uncle Owen in the market? Yes.
I think Bespin Bulletin confirmed that in the reports.
Yeah. They did. And Jason had kind of said the same thing, I think, to us. But he, I think that is absolutely Nari. And he's short for the series. So we'll see Nari come in and meet with Kenobi. He'll meet with Obi-Wan. And that's this. You covered this in your video today. You guys, if you've not seen Meg's video today, what are you doing? Go catch Meg's video. But secondly, just to kind of sum it up here, is that he goes to Tatooine to meet with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan tells him, "Go away, kid. Hide your, bury your lightsaber in the sand, and it's over. We've lost the war. We're done. Shoot." And then that's when he ends up getting confronted in the marketplace by Reva, and we know the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother are there as well, and that's where they come to. You see him in the trailer being all menacing. That's there on Tatooine, and then they kill him and they hang him up. So
I've got a
yes.
question for you, Santa, because both of us are Star Wars Rebels fans, and anyone in the chat as well, because I know a lot of you guys love Rebels too. Are you worried about the Grand Inquisitor? Not
Am I
necessarily
worried
like
about the Grand?
not necessarily the facial thing, but like just his sheer presence in Rebels. I know it's animated versus live action; it's going to be different. But do you think there's some cause for concern as to maybe Reva taking the spot that the Grand Inquisitor should hold in the kind of hierarchy of
Oh,
Inquisitors?
I see. Oh, that's a good question, Meg. It's a really, really good question because all the things I've heard, that we've been chatting about as well, is that Reva is going to be really one of, if not the big bad for the series. Um, we also know Vader is a big bad in the series, and we have the Grand Inquisitor. So, are we at any risk of lessening Vader and or the Grand Inquisitor by focusing so much on Reva?
I'm
Ooh,
not going to lie to you, that's a worry of mine because Grand Inquisitor, say what you will about him, he is an established villain, an established badass, an established um, not leader of the Inquisitors, but ultimately he is. You know, he's respected as like the highest of them all in Rebels.
yeah. So Mike Porter is trolling Josh, and anytime we can troll Josh Lucas, I'm all for it. 100% for trolling Josh Lucas because if you can trigger him, a triggered Josh Lucas makes the best content. Like he loses control, and it's fantastic. So, well, he says, "Read my name. I changed it to Troll Josh." But if you like Kenobi or Miss Marvel or not, it's up to you. Be your own person. It's Mike. Miss Marvel is my jam. Porter. There you have it.
I
You
love the
can
name.
clip that and
Michael
send it to
J.
Josh.
Bartholomew Porter II.
So yeah, I think some people are having some concerns that Reva is going to displace some of the focus that or the uh, uh, weight that maybe Vader or the Grand Inquisitor could have. And until you asked that question that way, I hadn't really even put that in my mind. Now I'm like, oh no. Whether I take it that way or not, now I'm worried that fans will take it that way.
We'll just have to wait and see. I think they deliberately excluded a lot of the Grand Inquisitor from the trailer. We got the spinny lightsaber and the shot of him looking like a melted Easter egg. But I'm sure there's going to be more to come in the final trailer, and then we'll actually see him properly in the show.
Melted Easter egg.
A Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
Yep.
The Jedi code is like a bit an itch. He can't help it. An itch.
So the Stanleys says no sense of danger in the show. Obi, Vader, Grand Inquisitor, Fifth Brother, they're not going to die. Well, I mean, for that matter, the Stanleys. That was one of my complaints about reading Lords of the Sith. I think that's the name of Dark Lords of the Sith, the novel that um, where Vader and the Emperor are uh, at risk, right? So in that novel, you end up with the Twi'leks coming up with a plot to kill Vader and the Emperor. Well, the whole time I'm reading the book, I'm saying that ain't happening. You're in big trouble. You guys are all gonna die. But that doesn't mean it can't be a good story because that book as a whole is a really good book, and there's a lot of people who have read that novel and they love it because you get to see Vader and you get to see the Emperor. You get to see Palpatine really going ham on some folks. And the situation was built up really well. The story's told really well. So that they're not going to die doesn't mean that the story won't have any sense of danger. Um, from what I've already seen, we are going to see some folks killed. Like like for real's dead, like like Nari, for example, right?
I do get that perspective, but as Santa said, there are also other characters who we know are probably going to die or risk being killed off. Like Reva
Right.
doesn't exist later on in the timeline. She could very well die. Not saying she will, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
guess that was what was so great about Rogue One. They introduced all these new characters and they killed off the two protagonists at the end. Like you didn't see it coming.
Right. X-Wing asked any news on when we might get another Kenobi trailer. I did see
Not a
something
whisper.
on that.
Did you?
Yeah. No, oh yeah, yeah. No, I saw something, a date on that. Oh shoot. Dadgummit. No, I saw that it came by in something I was reading. The next trailer is supposed to come. I want to think like April 12th or something like that.
Is that real? I've never heard of that.
I could have that date off. The date in my head isn't firm, but I did see something. I was watching something. I saw something that said another trailer was coming, and they gave a date, and I think it was like April 12th. Again, that could be off, but I have seen something, and if we see Jason or we catch Bespin Bulletin, Bespin Bulletin have been popping in every now and then in our chats. So if we see them, you guys ask Jason or Bespin Bulletin that same question because I think that I saw something. I think I did.
We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. I haven't
Yeah.
heard of it. Do you want to talk about maybe some gaming news or something?
I do.
Something else?
I do. I was just getting caught up with the chat. And Anthony, I see you've asked the question like 3 or 4 times. We did it. We read it. We answered it already. I don't know if you missed it. If you did, just kind of skip back. We don't have worry that the number of leaks indicates that they're worried about the quality of the show. I don't think so at all. So just he keeps posting it again and again. I just want we already talked about it. Yeah,
Salty
so Mandalorian.
Santa.
No, I don't want him to keep expecting an answer. Says, oh look, X-Wing's heart is beginning to grow. Josh inspired him this morning. We're worried about matching. Let's have fun. Hey, we've been trying to do that, X-Wing.
And that is Dave Filoni's perspective. That is the Filoni perspective. Have fun with it, which is why he's not afraid to bend canon.
Martin, I'm gonna hunt you down and I'm gonna kill you. No,
isn't that the same comment that
it is
Anthony posted?
That's Martin for you. By the way, speaking of Martin, have you done your tour of the Zoovium yet?
I have not.
Meg, what's it going to take?
Santa's going to hunt me down.
I am. Like, there's no excuse at this point. You and Martin have got to lock in a date and make it happen. When's it going to happen?
Soon.
Today. You're going to do it today.
I will.
Okay, there you heard it, Martin. Today, I expect a report today, Martin. Make it happen. So Mandalorian season 3, Martin says he can do it today. There you go. It's a date.
Is he saying that because he's intimidated by Santa?
I think he's everything except intimidated by Santa. I think.
I love that your shirt is the same color as your beard, so it kind of just blends in. It's like you don't know where Santa's beard starts and his shirt ends. It could all be a beard. He's, flaring it out.
Don't know. Have we missed anything on the Mandalorians? I mean, on the Kenobi leaks? Did we cover all of them? Because
there is one coming, isn't there, today or tomorrow?
There is, and we're expecting to see one today from Jason. In fact, he's already told us.
We probably shouldn't talk about it till he's posted his
given us a preview.
article.
Yes, he's given us a preview of what today's leak is going to be. So you guys make sure you catch. You
And if you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, it's amazing news.
Amazing news. That's right. In fact, amazing. Yes. Well, not even. Oh, I can't say. Dang it. This is the problem about knowing something before it's released. Is like you can get up to the edge, but you can't go over it. And so I've got to be really careful.
Santa's not used to edging himself. He needs to just release as soon as he knows it's going to happen.
Do we know how long the episodes are going to be? I did see somebody speculate on that, but I think it's garbage. But I don't know.
I think Jason said they're the same length as the Mandalorian episodes, between like 30 and 45.
Perfect. Hey, $2 from Matthew Cruz. $2. Do you all know how Chewbacca was captured before Solo? Well,
great question.
It is. And Matthew Cruz, I've been trying to reach you. Please shoot me a message on Discord, on Twitter, an email, something. You want a prize, and I want to be able to send it to you, and I need to know how to reach you. So glad you dropped in. Do you all know how Chewbacca was captured before Solo? Do you?
I do, because I watched a video by, I think, Star Wars Explained a long time ago, and I completely forgot.
There you go.
I think he was hunted by not Trandoshans, but maybe other Wookiee hunters. I can't remember the full story. There is an answer out there, just Wikipedia it.
Martin, you do not know a scoop. Do not send me that picture again. You've been every single time. And you know, he got me the last time. He got me last time by sending me a message saying that I qualified for a program from Lucasfilm, that they would put me on an influencer list of sorts. And I scrolled down, and you want to know what was in it?
Oh,
Dark cheeks.
I thought you were going to say Little Martin, but that's just
no. Would have been worse. Is there any canon connections between Cassian and Obi-Wan? Is it okay? Well, hold on just 1 second before we go there. It says Santa ask Baymax to check the phone. I think he's pocket blocking. So Baymax, if you're listening, Mark, if you're listening, check your phone. Make sure you're not pocket blocking. Dominic Martin, send me the picture. No, Dominic, don't ask for the picture. Don't ask. You don't want it. No, there is a leak from MakingStarWars.net. Jason Ward is going to be releasing something soon, so watch for that. And can we give any hint? I
think we can say who it concerns.
Yeah. It concerns Vader, and it concerns Kenobi to some degree, and
very vague.
And has a nice nod to Rebels.
A very nice nod.
Very nice. So there you go. Another $2 from Matthew. Hoping
we should probably answer Anthony's question about Andor and Kenobi.
I want to make that.
I don't think there's any overlap.
Well, I think there could be, as far as we've heard that there could be an appearance of Ahsoka and possibly who else was it in Andor? Ahsoka and somebody else. Another character from Rebels.
Hera?
Yeah. So Ahsoka and Hera could show up in Andor. Well, they could technically show up in Kenobi as well, but we've been told that they're not. So is there any other possibility, like Cassian showing up, or
a lot of the early leaks for Andor and Kenobi were so overlapped, intertwined. You know, Pilgrim and Joshua Tree, which were the working titles, were so kind of overlapped that a lot of the Andor leaks were actually for Kenobi, and a lot of the Kenobi leaks were for Andor. Um, from what I've known, from what Jason has said, a lot of what I've been told is absolutely for Andor, which makes it more exciting. Because I was told a few things about Andor that were just like a no-brainer for the Kenobi series, especially to do with Order 66 and all of that kind of time period in flashbacks. But now that I think of it, it could easily come into play in the Andor series in a flashback as well. But I can't be specific.
Yeah, um, and I heard the same thing. Like, there's been some confusion, and I think Josh Lucas covered it on his Star Wars video yesterday. That because of the volume, the stagecraft technology they're using, and how sets can be swapped in and out very quickly, you can have overlaps of directors and actors, and it can get quite confusing about what are they filming, and where does this fit, and is it Andor, is it Kenobi, is it something else, is it Mando season 3, and that, picking those pieces out when they overlap so much can be difficult. But as I get more and more of the Kenobi leaks from making Star Wars, and from Beskar, not Beskar, Bespin Bulletin. As I get more of those leaks, to me, it's clarifying what I've heard before is belonging to Andor, and not. So I don't know of any kind of crossover.
Here's the thing, that there's not going to be crossover in the story or characters, but there is going to be, I think, crossover with the Bad Batch and Andor. I can absolutely see that happening based on what I've heard. And I just want to say, for everyone who's listening, the Andor series is going to feel more Star Warsy than any other show this year in terms of like what we know to be Star Wars cinematically. And I'm going to call it right now, and it's going to be hard to believe. There are going to be more fans than you expect saying Andor was much better than Kenobi.
Fantastic. So, with that being the case, if Andor is better than Kenobi, is Kenobi better than Book of Boba Fett?
The Rise of Skywalker is better than the Book of. I'm joking. No, it's not that bad.
Jeez.
I don't think the Book of Boba Fett wins anything, personally.
Okay. All right. So we've touched base a little bit on I think we've talked extensively about the Kenobi leaks. We've talked about Andor a bit. There's been some Mandalorian season leaks, season 3 leaks this week, and Bespin Bulletin's been kind of leading the crusade on that. One being the Mythosaur, right? Big Mythosaur coming.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
The mines of Mandalore with the living waters of Mandalore. That was released. Again, Bespin Bulletin released that they've seen the set with the black sand, the cave, all of that, and some blue screen that might be the living waters, right? So,
Yeah.
super exciting, and that through the process, they also described this big gong thing that's similar to that game that we saw the trailer from, where they're beating that big brass.
Oh yeah, like in Star Wars Eclipse,
Right.
the chanting.
Right. Yes, and that wakes the Mythosaur. Oh boy, then what happens? Right.
The Mythosaur chases them, I think it said.
Yeah.
I think that they've completely aced all of their like CGI beasts. I loved the Great Dragon in season 2 of Mando. I loved the sand creature from Book of Boba. So I can see the Mythosaur being really cool. But what really surprises me, and something I think we should talk about, is both Bespin and Making Star Wars have said they've heard it looks like Bo-Katan is going to have another shot at being the leader of Mandalore.
Yes, I did see that, and we were kind of chatting about it way too late. I don't know why you weren't asleep, right? But you were awake after midnight your time, and
I
you
was.
were you were chatting on Discord, and we
My
were
bedding was
talking
in the
about.
wash. I had to wait for it to dry.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, then that makes sense. Let me. I'm going to do something here real quick because we talked about doing a poll on Twitter, and then I woke up this morning. I looked for the poll on Twitter, and you didn't do it.
I
And I
fell
was like, "What?"
asleep.
Good for you. Good for you, because you were up way too late. But let me go in the control room here and put a poll in the chat. Is you want to introduce it while I type?
Yes, so Santa's going to ask you who you think is going to be the ruler of Mandalore when all is said and done. Is it going to be Din Djarin? Is it going to be Sabine Wren? Is it going to be Bo-Katan? Maybe even Boba Fett? Grogu? Who knows? X-Wing says that I'm a lady of the night. I think that has two meanings. I was watching X-Wing playing Republic Commando, I think it was, the other day. He does a very good British accent.
He does a lot of really good accents. Let me see. Sabine Wren, Din Djarin. I need to take off some. I'm running out of characters here. Hold on. It limits you on characters. So I've
Yes,
got Bo,
Dominic, I was
Sabine,
washing my
Din.
sheets.
But Boba. Oh, I meant to put another option in there, but there you go. The poll is out there. I was going to put another option for other, meaning the armor or Paz or somebody of that nature. But yeah, the question is who would you like to see be the next leader of Mandalore? And it's because we think that it could be she. Her hat is back in the ring, right? So Bo-Katan could be put in a position to lead Mandalore again. What's the situation where Martin? Where's Zuvio? He's not Mandalorian, Martin, but Bo-Katan. What puts her back in the running? Make the case for
That's what
Bo-Katan.
that is what I've been trying to figure out, and every solution, every possibility plot thread does not lead to Bo-Katan claiming the Darksaber. Someone mentioned the possibility of her stealing Grogu, forcing Din Djarin to fight her. I don't like that option.
Oof.
I don't want her to
Yeah.
be completely made into a villain. She's got like villainous tendencies and you're not supposed to trust her 100%, but I don't want them to ruin her character by making her full on despisable.
Yeah. I'm not for that either. And people keep wanting to see Bo and Din fight, and I don't know why. Din doesn't seem to want to fight Bo, and she doesn't seem that evil. I mean, she's got her kind of her motivations, but the motivations don't make her evil. I don't see her as evil. I've never seen her as full on evil. So to have her go kidnap Grogu at knife point, so to speak, and say,
Mm-hmm.
give me the dark saber, or I take the kid." All right, I don't see that happening. It's
No.
just, to me, that's a little ridiculous. The other would be Sabine Wren. Now, Sabine has,
We
uh,
both agree on this one.
yeah, I think she's got a rightful claim. She earned the dark saber. She won it in combat. She gave it to Bo-Katan, but Bo then lost it. So Sabine rightfully won it in combat. So she would be coming up of age. She's got more experience under her belt. She could make the rightful claim. She comes from the right kind of house. She's got that right kind of lineage, all that, and she's got the rightful claim. So
I guess the only
I
problem I have is, won't she be focusing on Ezra with Ahsoka first? Is she going to
right.
put her Mandalorian kind of duties or beliefs and politics aside until they've gone and found Ezra and Thrawn?
Right. So do you claim Mandalore? Do you go ahead and take rule of it at the end of of Mandalorian season 3? Only then to say, okay, here, somebody else rule in my staff. Chopper. There you go.
Chopper for Mandalore, the rightful ruler. Martin's not wrong.
Martin.
28 people are enjoying Santa on his pole. North Pole dancing, we call it.
Matthew, thank you for the super chats, by the way, because this stream is for sure demonetized long time ago. That ship sailed. So
It's probably when I said that Santa squirts. Sorry, Jason squirts. I don't know what Santa does. He edges himself.
Oh, yeah, that was the other one. I was like, oh no, so I don't know that that's gonna be the case. Now Sabine, like if she were to claim it, who would she leave in charge while she goes searches for Ezra? Would it be out of order? Would Mandalorian season 3 come after Ahsoka series?
We don't know. There's already a lot of uncertainty with where Chapter 13 of Mandalorian takes place. Is it before epilogue of Rebels? Probably.
Right. And I mean, that's what Dave's kind of told us. So then the next case is for Din. And I could absolutely see Din being the he's not really has inspired to be a leader, but he may be kind of thrust into that position as some sort of bridge in between these factions of Mandalorians, the wear your helmets and the not wear your helmets, if you want to put it, in layman's term. You've got the armor, Paz Vizsla, and those who Children of the Watch follow that kind of tenets, right? The way, and those folks where they have this helmet rule, and then you've got others like Bo-Katan and Sabine and arguably Boba Fett, if you want to even throw him in there, that don't, and Din could kind of bridge between those.
It's quite interesting. We have a lot of question marks, like what happens to Boba Fett now? Is he going to keep ruling Mos Espa? And going back to Din, there's going to be a lot to cover in the next couple of seasons or season, because I'm not too sure he's going to stay with the tribe. I know that Jason said by the end he is.
Yeah.
In the atonement ceremony, but I'm not too sure he will. And I kind of learnt something recently, because if you remember, I interviewed Bernard Bullen, who played Din Djarin's father in season 1.
Yeah.
I was looking back at the interview, and I've edited it heavily. There were so many questions I didn't include, but one that I really should have included was the audition process, because I think he accidentally gave away something about Din Djarin's future that suggests he may not even care about being a Mandalorian at a certain point.
Well, see, I thought when at the end of season 2, when he took off the helmet, that he had made that decision. I care more about Grogu than I do about being Mandalorian, and then we see him in the Book of Boba Fett taking the Darksaber and going to go see the armorer, and then he seems intent on going to the living waters of Mandalore to be baptized back into the fold. And that kind of leads us from the rumors and the leaks we've heard from Mandalorian season 3 to support that, right?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. I think what's going to be really important is the Ezra subplot.
Yes, the Ezra subplot, and it's where that takes Sabine. And then also, another thought that I've heard lots is that, okay, so Din becomes ruler of Mandalore for a time until he ages out, right? He dies of old age. And then Grogu will be the next Mandalore, being somebody who is force sensitive, Jedi trained, and also raised as a foundling and Mandalorian.
I've definitely heard that, and I've seen Jason for making Star Wars float around the idea of Grogu becoming the next, Tar Vizsla, because the concept art for The Mandalorian had Grogu lifted up with armor, and all of the Mandos around him on Mandalore were celebrating. I kind of hope they don't go that direction with Grogu. And I think the biggest mistake they made was in the Book of Boba Fett, to have Luke send them back so quickly. I think giving up
I
that plot
disagree with
thread kind of ruined the mystery around
I
what
just
Grogu could become.
I disagree with you, and that's that. And I know Mark's been waiting for it. Baymax has been waiting for it. But look, and I've already done my victory lap on this several times. But the Paper Moon told us that he was never going to stay. That she, the girl only stays with her aunt for like an hour, hour and a half, something like that, like hardly ever, and then she leaves immediately. And I fully expected Grogu to go with Luke for a hot minute and leave immediately. So for me, it's the payoff of Paper Moon for Grogu
Mhm.
not to stay. And
I knew he wasn't going to stay. I just mean they could have made that more played out. Can I just answer
sure.
a question, because I can't pronounce this person's name, something Roughnecks, but they were asking how could a guy who had 10
Oh,
seconds of slow motion of screen time know anything about anything, talking about Din Djarin's father. I'm talking
yeah,
about the audition process and what he was told about his character description, and how Dave Filoni cast him based on a character we've actually already seen. And that made me think, I think I know what they're doing here with Din Djarin.
very good, very good. Let's get caught up on the chat a little bit since you brought that up. And yeah, that's a good. Like they're going to say, okay, here's what you're playing. Here's your motivation. Go. And so as
Exactly.
part of that is saying, here's who you're playing. Your motivation is, and that's where the reveal is, right? So,
Absolutely.
um, Matthew Cruz, your super chat. Yeah, we talked about Sam Jackson's comment earlier. And it says, I think it would confirm he isn't in Solo. Uh,
Solo.
uh, Solo. I'm not sure what you mean by Solo. We know he's not in Solo. Confirm he's not in Kenobi, or confirm he's not in Andor. Confirm he's
Yeah,
not
I think
in.
he must have meant one of those.
Yeah, or and actually, it would confirm he's not in any of them, right? He's not in Ahsoka or any of those, right? Because uh, by him saying that he asked Bryce Dallas Howard, "Can I, hey, help a brother out?" He's saying that he's not been in any of them. So I think, yeah, we can confirm that he's not in anything yet. And but he's saying hopefully we see him die before A New Hope. I disagree, but I understand. I understand where that thought comes from. So let me get back up. I saw Novak gave $5 super chat for Meg's dry cleaning expense.
Because I was washing my sheets.
Yeah, right. There's been some good. That says Santa. Are you wearing a Santa shirt that's in your shop? I am not today, Dawn. Those are in our laundry, and so I've just got I've got like a Darth Vader kind of put into a Death Star, and there's all kinds of stuff on there. But anyway, I do not have Star Wars Santa merch on today. Let's see. Um, oh, Dominic's. Yes, that's the answer there, right?
Oh, yes. I think he knows. I made so many videos on it. I think it's a joke comment.
I think it is too. We were talking about it the other day, like in chats. You were like, or no, you joined when we were talking earlier this week, and we were doing a live stream together when the news of Samuel L. Jackson. This is when you died. It's when you became Force Ghost Meg. You're like, I've
Yes.
already done too many videos on Mace Windu, and people are giving me a hard time. What would be Grogu's first word?
I'm still convinced they're going to get Seth MacFarlane to do the Stewie voice from Family Guy. His first word will be, what the deuce?
No. uh, that goes right into X-Wing's comment. That's
Didn't we see Obi-Wan? No, that was something else.
no, no. I mean, what that wasn't that what the a dude in Mandalorian, our blue friend. What's his name?
The Mithril.
Yeah, the Mithril. Wasn't that what he was going to go do?
He was, and then he got blasted into carbonite. But X-Wing,
Right.
it's a good question. No one ever takes a dump in Star Wars, but the people who create the films definitely took a dump on Star Wars. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
Meg.
not going to go there.
The actress they brought in recently, they announced who they're going to be playing yet. Which actresses?
Maybe he's talking about Mary Winstead.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Or
There's now. Bespin did say who they think. What's her name's playing? She's going to play uh, Leia's mom.
Brer Organa, Simone Kessel.
Yeah, Simone Kessel. Yeah, she's going to be playing. That's who they said that she's going to be playing. Let's see what else we got here. Trying to get caught up with the chat. It's moving right along. Oh, you guys.
We also know that Natasha Liu Bordizzo is Sabine Wren. That was pretty much confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter.
All right. Okay, we were talking about I'm trying to get back. Mandalorian season 3 leaks. We've got the whole thing at the end. No, yeah. We also know we're going to get other Mandalorians, specifically from the Night House, right? We're getting Axe Wolves. We've seen pictures of him. That's perfect. Mary Elizabeth Winstead and the Russian girl.
I think he means the Ukrainian woman.
Yeah, not sure.
I can't remember her name.
Axe Wolves is definitely in that big scene at the end, and I think Jason and Bestman have both mentioned how there's multiple factions of Mandalorians present. We get the armor working alongside Bo-Katan, which they are diametrically opposed in philosophies, right? We already know that the armorer doesn't have much of a love loss for Bo-Katan. Blamed her for Mandalore being defeated. Kind of threw her under the bus for all the woes of Mandalore for taking the Darksaber. You would presume that she doesn't really care for Sabine because Sabine gave Bo the Darksaber. But we're going to get Bo and the armor working alongside one another, and it's the classic: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And when they go and they meet all these red troopers, the Praetorian Guard types and these others that I think Jason called them lobster troopers, that they'll all fight against the Empire remnant that is occupying Mandalore.
Sounds about right.
Yep. What did you think about Elizabeth Olsen as Mara Jade? Older than Luke because she could be dope as Wanda. Well, that'd be cool. I just don't know that every time we hear somebody speculated to be Mara Jade, I've not heard anything that gives any kind of credence to Mara Jade showing up in any project.
I agree.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree.
And who else? We kept talking about that battle at the end. We're never getting Mara Jade, just like we're not getting the original theatrical releases of the original trilogy. Same. Just me being a little
George Lucas's last middle finger to all of us.
Exactly. But who else is rumored to be? Oh, no, we were speculating early in the stream that perhaps we could even see Omega in live action in that scene. So I'll be watching for that as well. You were actually joking. I think it was you or Mark that were joking about Axl Rose and Axl.
I think it was a magic maker.
Axe Wolves. Yeah, it was a magic maker. And then Jason Ward picked up on it. Yeah. Martin Keeler. You know what else we're not getting? TVC blurgs. That's it. Except me, Martin. I do have friends and friends that disagree with me vehemently, who had a custom TVC blurg being made for me. So there. You were going to say something, Meg?
Oh, I was just going to say, do you want to talk about maybe Lego Star Wars and the upcoming
I do.
gaming
I
news?
do. And I want to talk about real quick the other animated project that the Kiner brothers were talking about. So they talked about the Bad Batch. They talked about another animated project. There's been speculation about what is this other animated project. Could it be the Droid series? What is it? Droid Tales? Could it be what's the other one that had been thrown out a lot?
The Maul
Tales of the
series,
Jedi. Is that it? Tales of the Jedi
Tales of the Jedi, and
or
also the Crimson Dawn series, because the
Crimson
Clone
Dawn
Wars was meant
series?
to spawn two spin-offs, the Bad Batch and a Crimson Dawn show. So,
And one of my favorite theories is, or speculations, is maybe original trilogy cast following Return of the Jedi animated
mhm.
series. I would love that, especially while you got Mark Hamill to do voice acting. You might be able to get other folks that I doubt you get Harrison Ford, or you would even need him, but Mark Hamill for sure. And we could follow the original trio, right? We could follow Luke and Leia and Han and Chewie following Return of the Jedi. That would be fantastic. So would love to see that. But who knows? Yeah,
Who
a Toy
knows?
Story, Mall, Crimson Dawn, Bad Batch, and yeah, what was the other one? The theory is perhaps an original trilogy cast.
Does BB mean Bad Batch, or is it a BB-8
Yeah,
series? We need a BB-8 series.
I wouldn't mind. So then, um, yeah, the comics and games. There are two other topics to touch base on. First of all, comics. One of the things that came out this week, and you covered earlier in the week, is Han Solo's dad.
Yes, I saw Star Force One's video last night. He did a really good job. I don't think it's like confirmed that he's his father, but it's very much pointing to this could very well be his real dad. Sorry, Martin's making me laugh.
I know.
I can't look away sometimes.
I knew you would
Booby
see it. Well,
series.
especially when you see that word, your eyes are just
It's
magnetically
a
drawn to
series
it.
concerning a droid called Eight Tits.
They're a win again. Uh, uh, oh, no, I do think we might, like you said, the comics are going to reveal uh, or have revealed um, uh, his dad, right? So we got Han
Hmm.
Solo's dad, and I just saw they're continuing the Afra series. There's some comics that folks are getting excited about, and then in the games, we're supposed to get another trailer for the Lego Star Wars next week, Wednesday. So that's coming up, and then all this news on the game that's going to be that still doesn't have a release date. It's speculated to be years in advance. Eclipse, right?
Hmm. And
Um,
Quantic Dream deny it. They're saying, well, we never set a release date, so how can it be delayed? But I think they're just saving face because they know that their studio can't get enough people to work on the game based on the controversy and other things. I don't think this game is ever going to come to light.
yeah, I think that's the case as well. I think when the original Eclipse thing came out, it was clear that was 3 or 4 years at best. So when I saw the original trailer for it, it was clear that it wasn't going to happen anytime soon. But then they're they're they seem to be even kind of putting the brakes on any even on that, right? That it's going to be pushed even further. So as you mentioned, they're kind of trying to save face by saying, well, we never said a date. Well, they implied it was like 3 or 4 years away, maybe 5 years away, but now it's like, who knows when.
Exactly.
And if you look at Lego, but Lego Star Wars, that was being pushed and pushed and pushed, and that they weren't near the kind of trouble that they have in this Eclipse project. And there are still people with the Eclipse project that are still getting all kinds of controversy around them, and they're having trouble hiring people. They're having trouble getting staff to do it. So yeah, Anthony, I saw. No, we are not more mature than that. No.
No, we're not.
So, yeah. Anything else on the gaming front?
Lego Star Wars is going to be incredible.
It is going to be incredible. They've already announced a good number of the initial kind of
DLC packs and characters and things.
The packs, and then after that, we've got them coming all the way through May, and then
May the 4th.
I would expect there'll be more after that. And then what about I saw some rumors about the follow-up to Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, I spoke about this on Josh's podcast, because even though EA Play Live is not happening this year, there's still, I think it was Bespin or someone else who was talking about how we're still going to see a preview at Celebration in Anaheim on May the 26th to the 29th. And we'll probably get the name of the game, because it's going to be Jedi and then another title than Fallen Order, because Jedi is the sub-franchise and Fallen Order was just the name of the first game. So it could be Jedi Risen Warrior or whatever.
So anytime you bring up Jedi Fallen Order, then that raises all kinds of questions about Cal Kestis. And I saw some videos this week mentioning that Kenobi is set up perfectly for Cal Kestis to show up as part of that, or I don't think it's happening. Don't let me kind of mislead anybody. I don't think it is happening. They're just saying that Kenobi is in the right time frame and the right setting that they could. And that being the case, I don't think that's happening at all.
I don't think it's happening either. But it's an interesting, take, because I think at the end of the game, you can play Cal Kestis as an Inquisitor. And I saw some people float around the idea, what if Cal became an Inquisitor? I don't think so.
Oh, no, but he could show up. There were rumors that I heard from a friend. I got to be careful, because there's another content creator that I affiliate with who has folks who have worked on the set of Kenobi, and during the filming, the friend of theirs who was an extra in the set mentioned a scene that could have lots of different Jedi in it, and in that scene, Cal Kestis could be there in some sort of confrontation battle. Since then, that's sort of been that Jedi battle has been kind of debunked. That doesn't seem to be happening, at least not in the Kenobi series. I can't say, if the person was on set and they were an extra when that was happening, it's in some live action form somewhere, I don't know what, then Cal Kestis could be involved. But I think we just have to wait and let some of these things play out. No, it was not Jason Ward. It was not Jason Ward.
We don't have any Yaddle content. If Yaddle appears in anything, I'll be so happy I'm going to become a super mega Force Ghost. I'll die again. I'll be see-through.
I saw Anthony asked another pretty good question, actually. It says Jedi Fallen Order, the stories and concepts for those games, could it work into a live action series or animated show? They have not been good at like straight carryover. Right? And there's been a lot of clamor for people who want like the Old Republic stuff, that content to come in. And they want people to bring in uh, the High Republic, that like all these other things that have been either in games or books, and they haven't really done that yet. As far as like an adaptation of characters from a game, and people are dying for the
That's funny.
Old Republic, and it just hasn't happened, right?
X-Wing's making me laugh.
Yeah.
Well, my autocorrect changes Sabine to soybean wrap. So whenever I type in Sabine Wren, it's soybean wrap. And then during the Bad Batch, it changed to Poker City to Chipotle City.
Oh, I saw this before. Jar Jar Binks. Yes, Jar Jar Binks is alive. So just to fill you in, Anthony, Jar Jar Binks is in the Aftermath novels that happened between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So Jar Jar Binks is definitely alive throughout the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, and post original trilogy era. We don't know where he is by the time we get to the sequel trilogy, but we do know that following in this time period where even like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka, these series exist in the Boba Fett series, Jar Jar Binks is out there. We just don't know where he is at that time. He survives through that time period. So could he be in Kenobi or Andor? Absolutely. Is he in Kenobi? No. 100% no. Could he be in Andor? Could be. I've
No.
not heard one way or the other. Yeah, no.
He's not an Andor.
Yeah. So there's been nothing yet to bring Jar Jar back. It would be great to see him. And I think a lot of us would love to see Ahmed Best get kind of some love and appreciation in the role. Right. A lot of people have warmed up to him after the prequels, but like while it's actually being released, it would be great to see Ahmed Best get some recognition. That'd be great.
Just give me 1 sec. There's a bloody pigeon trying to get in my window.
Nothing more English has ever been Englished on this live stream. That was that was great. Oh, that was great.
And it was one of those like really chunky ones that just stare at you like they own London.
Like, where's my snack, Meg? Like, you didn't leave me a snack. You know, what the heck? Oh my goodness. Are you a fan of the Darth Jar Jar theory?
Oh, absolutely. I'm all for it. I've seen like every video on YouTube about it. I buy into it. I think he was like a secret mastermind.
I think it's a great retcon. I don't think that he was ever planned to be, or that's actually canon, but it's a great retcon. I would love it. So, hey, Star Wars obsession made it. Need more positivity. Well, you hang out with X-Wing too much. That's your problem. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
X-Wing has been surprisingly very positive in recent weeks.
Well, and I give credit, some credit to Star Wars obsession. That dude's a great dude.
I like obsession a lot. I was watching your live stream with him when you went on his channel the other day or the other week.
That's great.
A chunky pigeon at my window, and there's an ambulance again.
There it is. Dom.
Oh shit! It's the coppers.
Oh. I thought English cops had different sirens than that. Shows what I know.
It might be a regional thing.
I thought they had the dee-doo kind of thing. What was that?
They do, but this was like one of the big van ones when they have about 8 of the stormtroopers in there.
Obsession. Darth Jar Jar was a thing, and I like the idea. Look, Anthony, I'm giving X-Wing a hard time because I love him. And X-Wing's a fantastic dude. And so
Santa makes everyone he loves hard.
it's it's the same way Meg gives me a hard time, or that if you ever go to listen to Jason Ward's show Making Star Wars, Rob on there gives me a grief all the time, and I don't at all take any offense to it, and I know my friend X-Wing doesn't take any offense to it. And in fact, X-Wing, I'm going to out you just a little bit. X-Wing is the one who commissioned a custom TVC blurg be made as a gift. So X-Wing is fantastic. I love him, and so I give him a hard time because he is a good guy and he's a good friend. So that's it.
It's always nice when Santa gives people a hard on and gives them a good stroke of their ego.
Well, Dominic, Meg makes me watch the prequels from time to time. I can't quit watching crap Star Wars because she's got me doing a thing on the Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones. I'm helping her out with an anniversary of Attack of the Clones, so I have to watch crap Star Wars. It's part of my job.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Well, I know we've gone really long today. It's because I'm having way too much fun hanging out with one of my best buds, one of my absolute best buds. We killed Will Morgan's phone. So with that, I think we gotta wrap it up. Meg, thank you for hanging out with me again today.
Thank you for having me, Santa.
I would X-Wing. And I hate Santa again.
It's only natural. You watched the sequels and you wanted revenge.
There you go. And Star Wars Obsession with a $5 super chat says, Meg likes my content. I could die happy now. Please join me on a stream sometime. It would be an honor. Positive. It's so much fun. Let's do more.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Genuinely. I know when I say things positive and everyone thinks I'm being sarcastic.
No.
I'm being genuine.
You are being genuine. You're fantastic. So Mike Porter dad joke. We've got a Mike Porter dad joke today. It is Star Wars themed. So what does Charlie Brown the Jedi, yell when things aren't going well? Good Grievous.
Oh no. Michael J. Bartholomew Porter II. Such spunk.
Meg, sarcastic? No. It's not true. You guys are great. Thank you so much for being here. I wish that this were my full-time job all the time. I absolutely love it. I wish that I could spend more time with you. But unfortunately, my friends, I have a full-time job that I've got some deliverables to work on today. So I'm going to have to go. But thank you all for being here. Meg, once again, thank you. And,
thank you, Santa. And thank you, everyone in the chat.
Sure.
And, much love.
So much love to all of you. Thank you so much. And until next time, Merry Christmas. And may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye.
Hot dang! Talking through the news from a galaxy far away. Toys and book reviews, positivity all the way. Come and join the fun, subscribe and like away. Movie news and show reviews, it's like Christmas every day. Oh, Star Wars Santa, Star Wars Santa, the Star Wars Santa Show. Oh, what fun it is to chat on the Star Wars Santa Show. Oh, Star Wars Santa, Star Wars Santa, the Star Wars Santa Show. Oh, what fun it is to chat on the Star Wars Santa Show. Ho, 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 ho. Hot damn! Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat tonight on the Star Wars Santa Show. He can feel your presence. So join the chat, loosen up and have some fun with Star Wars Santa.